Good morning to the grind. Good morning to another day of working hard, but using kind words. We're not going to whine. We're going to pursue the process. We're going to keep our promises. We're going to do our best. And today, again, we get another chance because he says so fit. We woke up this morning and we get to apply the best, the very best, and a little bit more than today than we did yesterday. My name is KeJohnna Owens. This is the Morning Grind Grindology101 Podcast. And each and every day, we look to empower, inspire, motivate, encourage in any kind of way, in any kind of sense, in any kind of way that you could resonate with. You know what? It's my day. It is. My daily method of operation is to wake up, thank him, get myself together, give that word some time, and put the work to what I want in my life. And like every day, I get to share some positive, motivating content Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hey, a lot of people not up yet. A lot of people didn't get a chance to wake up. How grateful are you for being one of the ones that got a chance to put the best foot forward toward what you want or not? That's our choice. We've been talking this week about mental toughness, you know, the mental toughness to overcome, the mental toughness to succeed, the mental toughness to keep going, overcome, go under, go around, whatever it is we got to do, man. Everybody's facing some kind of something in life. Everybody's got something or some reason why they could say, I can't do it. You do. Every one of us does. But some of us say, you know what? It's not going to matter because my why is so strong it made me cry that I can't allow myself to fall into a mental weakness. I got to be tough for people that are counting on me, people that are depending on me, people I'm responsible for. There's some things that I haven't yet accomplished, so I know there's more for me to do. And it's a fact that I get to because he gave me a chance to. Free will. Let's get into it. I'm going to start us off with some mojo. I got my brother on today again, and we talk about part 3 today. Part 3 of mental toughness. What is it that we got to put in our mind to say, you know, man, I can't accept a failure. The mental toughness, it says, you know what, I can't accept that they didn't hire me, that I'm through looking for an appointment, or they said no, and that's the end of the road. No, that's not the end of the road. That's the beginning of the trial of the period. That's the beginning. The first no means you're ready to go. Think of it like that. Mr. Orlando Moore, salute to you. I love it. He says he eats cherry nose for breakfast. So do what you do. Don't worry about who does it with you. Get up and get on it. And today, again, I want to talk about some of that motivation, and specifically mental toughness. But this is how we start. We just kill the excuses. We got to get to it. So let's get on to it. Stand by. Kill those excuses.
One of the biggest contradictions of massive success is when people go to their moms, their dads, their brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend. They say, listen, one day the world's going to know who I am. One day I will have a Ferrari, the Lambo, the Rolls, the Bentley, the big house, the cars, the backyard with the big swimming pool and an elevator. I'm going to put the biggest parties. I'm going to be a millionaire one day. Yet, instead of staying at the office on Friday night, you call your friends and you go party. Instead of waking up Saturday morning to go to the gym, you sleep until 10 o'clock. Instead of reading the book on Sundays, you kick back and watch movies all day long. The reality is very simple. Those who win big, they do 4 things right. They sleep, sweat, grind, repeat. And they do it over and over and over again until their dreams become a reality.
If you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness.
You gotta have the mentality to show up every fucking day of your life, no matter what life throws at you. It's our responsibility to show up to the Coliseum of life, prepared for fucking battle. I don't care what you're going through, what life's throwing at you. It's your responsibility to find your new 100%.
You still must grind. I fail at most things I do, but still I grind. I don't want to do half the shit I do, but still I grind. And that one day, you see me on a dark alley, run at 1 o'clock in the morning, know one thing. I was grinding.
Every single day when you wake up, you got two options. You can look at the clock and hit the snooze. You can look at that snooze button, boom. You can hit the snooze button and go back to bed and dream about what you want to have. Or you can look at that snooze button, kick that clock and get up and go pursue your dreams.
You need to walk through the mud and light, guys, if you ever want to get to the higher ground. That higher ground is where you look in the mirror and you have respect, and you went through the work, the sweat equity of it all. And the end product is something you travel, a legacy of life that you put your signature to, that means something. You're not speaking hollow words. You're backing those motherfuckers up with action.
That's what lions do. Lions don't give up. Lions don't quit. Lions hunt. That's what we do for a living.
I still grind. I love the grind. If you're competing in one of my businesses, I'm going to kick your ass because I'm going to outgrind you.
You have to be willing to work in places people don't see.
While the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working.
There's a motherfucker out there who wants what you have, who wants the position you are, who wants the job you have, who wants the wife that you have, or the husband. There's someone out there hungry and wants everything you can have. So make that a motivation for you.
And mental toughness says, not only do I climb that doggone mountain, I enjoy climbing the mountain. I get a kick out the mountain. I get a kick out the weights. I get a kick out of fatigue. I get a kick out of the grind. I get a kick out of it. You take advantage of this opportunity. You let everything else go. You eat different. You study different. You practice different. We don't have forever. Let's not act like it. We're all going to die. And so I don't act like I'm going to live forever. So every opportunity I get, I murder it. Process driven. I love it. I'm about that life. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. When I want to get up, when I don't. When I feel like it and I don't feel like. Why? Because I'm process driven. I'm not feelings driven. Champions are not feeling driven. Champions don't get up when they want to. And if we're going to be champions, process driven.
Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done.
Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. I just resonate with that. You know, my wife tells me, "Hey, when are you through yet?" I still got project. She may not understand the depth of what I'm involved in to the degree of the specificity of what it is, but she knows I'm determined. I'm self-motivated. I'm self-driven. I don't need outside influences to wake me up. I don't need somebody to tell me a good job, attaboy. I don't need any of that. What I need is for him to give me another day and a chance and apply the level of the work that I do. Because you hear me say it all the time, apply the level of work that you do to match the level of the faith that you have. I apply the level of the work that I do. Why do you ain't got to do all that? No, you don't have to do all that. That's a mental toughness. So I don't accept someone's easy route for the route I know I need to take. There's some bushes. I got to have a sickle. There's weeds out there. There's stuff to do. There's people in the same industry. There are people in my line of work that do what I do on a much higher level. Do you think that I have the time to allow them to get a head start when they already have one? See, that's personal. That's your own characteristic of you. And it's not about me. It's about the people that are counting on me to do what I've been purposed, assigned, and given the gifts and talents and skills and passion to do. So mental toughness means I receive feedback. I receive advice. I have mentors, I have coaches, I have a network of people that support, influence, and empower and encourage me of absolute. But it's the mental toughness that says my alarm clock goes off by safety at 3:30 in the morning. I don't know who's got an alarm clock that's set for that, but it doesn't go off. You know why? Because about 3:28, I don't want to wake my wife up. So I'm already up, but I'm ready to hit that off right away. I'm on. If you're all like that, you're in the right place, man. You're the right kind of person. Just put yourself in the right situation with the right people. And today I have the right person on today. My main man, we've been going through a series of scenarios in mental toughness. So this is part 3 of our mental toughness series. And I'm going to allow him just to, in his own words again, just tell you just a little bit about himself, what he's doing, who he is, what he does, and what I'm going to do now is get myself out of the way alive. Mr. Kelton, Boss I Quit, Alexander, kind of explain what we're doing here today. Stand by.
I'd like to say greetings, no matter where you may be in the world tuned in to this webinar. This is Kelton, Gazelle, Boss I Quit, Alexander, and you are in the Situation Room. So today we want to talk about mental toughness. How many of you know that mental toughness is very important to God? Here's what he said in his word in 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verses 12. If there be first a willing mind, it is accepted according to what one has and not according to what he does not have. A willing mind. So today, the major problem is the lack of mental toughness. Here's a question. Do you feel like life has been trying to push you around lately? Well, the truth is that many people now feel that way. And more than ever before, there's a need to fight back in the game of life and place a high priority on our mental health. Would you agree with that? So this is the beginning of a series of webinars on the art of mental toughness. And there are 177 mental toughness secrets that we're going to discuss. And we're going to use these secrets to overcome any challenge that faces us because we are calm, cool, collected, calculated, and we think systemically, methodically, and by patterns designed by God to accomplish greatness.
There he is right there, Mr. Kelton, Boss I Quit, Alexander, man. Amazing way to outline the beginning of this 3-part series. And you have an amazing way to just deliver what we're talking about. So good morning to you there, sir. Glad to have you on.
Good morning to you, KeJohnna, my right-hand man. How you doing this morning, sir?
I'm fired up. You gave me another chance. You know, I'm gonna get all the juice off the berry. I mean, I don't care if it's barely a little dribble of juice. I'm gonna get the juice off the berry because we have to accept and embrace. It's Christmas time. It's the spirit. It's the season, and all those things, right? A lot of people just depressed right now because they can't do the things that's on the TV, buy the things that's on the TV for the people that they love. But what they can apply a level of love and a level of concern to the people closest to us. And that's a mental toughness thing going through this season. So you brought this concept up to me and said, let's really empower the people with some personal development, mental development, and let's focus on the mind. Good morning. Tell me about it.
Well, appreciate you having me on this morning to share this very important subject because we live in a world dominated by average, right? The middle class no longer exists because the economy, I think that the pandemic exposed this or triggered this, depending on how you look at it. But the economy has shifted to the point where it seems as if the gap between the haves and the have-nots has gotten a lot wider. Go to the gas pump, go to the grocery store, go to the real estate market, go anywhere in the market where it takes an exchange of cash for things, and you'll realize that the powers that be and the system that's rigged against us does not give a damn about us. And so, how do we fight back? Well, your faith in a higher being usually is the first place you need to go to find the answers, because it's a spiritual fight, because the physical, right, requires the spiritual to overcome. So a few decades ago, I came across this book, and it's called The 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class: The Thought Philosophies, Processes, and Habits of the Great Ones by Steve Siebold, Siebold. And I highly suggest that you go to Amazon.com to get this book. But another book that you should also get is called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And in this book, he gives us, I don't know, maybe about 7 or 8, about 10 factors of leadership when it comes to being mentally tough. And the first one he says is that you need an unwavering courage based upon knowledge of self and of one's occupation. He said, no follower wishes to be dominated by a leader who lacks self-confidence and courage. No intelligent follower will be dominated by such a leader very long. So I started out by talking about some conditions that are affecting our lifestyle. And my brand is called Fire That Boss, which is anything that won't allow you to leverage your most precious commodity, which is your time, more effectively. So if you have a lack of something, then that thing is your boss. So,
I love it.
Yes. So right now, the boss for most of us is the economy, because time and money are probably dictating our decisions to an extent that has us immobilized, right? So God said this: there is first a willing mind. It is accepted according to what one has and not according to what he does not have. He also said that death and life are in the power of the tongue. So the words you speak have a lot to do with where you end up. But everything begins with how you think. He said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. His heart. Now, I'm not talking about the organ in your chest. I'm talking about the spirit. When you talk about let's get to the heart of the matter, what you're talking about is let's get to the essence. Let's get to the foundation. Let's get to the root cause of why things are happening or not. So we're talking about mental toughness. And there are 177 mental toughness secrets. And today we're going to cover number 4.
Right. Well, I want to ask you this. As you get into the meat of the matter.
Sure.
Mental toughness, personally, when you face something, I love to share this personal experiences, on this platform here, because it's about the real life stuff. You know what I mean? It's really about people are facing some stuff out there. So I want to give some, when you face something, what is it that gets you to face it and go through it instead of face it and fall back? What do you do in those instances where, you know what, it's going to be hard anyway, so I might as well go forward? What do you do in that?
Well, you and I are Marines. I was in the Air Force first. After I joined the Air Force and left the Air Force, I became a Marine. The difference between the Air Force and the Marines is that the Air Force is a technical based fighting machine, planes, right? And to fly a plane and to get planes ready for combat, it takes a lot of mental toughness. 6 weeks of intense mental toughness, mind games, right? In other words, they say fold your t-shirt 6 inches square. Your t-shirts, the shirt that you're wearing, fold it in a 6-inch square. The Marines say fold it in a 6-inch square to see how fast you can put it in a square. The Air Force says fold it in a 6-inch square to see if it's exactly 6 inches all the way around, and they are coming with a ruler. And if it is not exactly 6 inches all the way around, you going back another week. In the Marine Corps, they're coming to see if not only you can fold it in a square, it don't have to be 6 inches, but can you fold it in a square? Because they're going to come tear it up anyway and make you do it again. A different type of mental toughness, speed. So what I learned was there are patterns and there are ways and there are successes based on speed, but it's also based on your competence level. So for me, when I face adversity, there are ways and means. There is a method of operation to attack the situation. And for me, it's the word of God. See? Because I found out that the worlds were framed by the word of God. I'm not going to turn this into a sermon, but for me to answer your question, where I go is I go to the Bible. And that's where I get my directions. I am divinely directed. See, because if God made everything and all this stuff was here before I got here, if you buy any type of product, I mean, even this cup of coffee that I made, there are directions, instructions. There are instructions to everything. So where we get in trouble is, KeJohnna, is that when we face adversity, we don't go by the method of operation to deal with that adversity. We deal with our own mind. But the answer is what you put in your mind to prepare you for that situation.
What you put in your mind to prepare you for the situation. I love you use Marine Corps. So yeah, that's tough. Man, that's a whole nother kind of beast. And that mental toughness does prepare you because you start to see that that you have the floor. Think about the times that we went through something so catastrophic. It seemed like that was the end. Everybody's got a day. Every one of us has a day that at that time, man, I don't, oh, wow, right? It's just, oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
But when we face that, oh, wow, and we overcome it, the mental toughness say, I can do a thing again. You can overcome. And I love Steve Harvey again on it. He said, man, we've overcome. We've survived 100%
right
of the situations we've been through because we're here today. Mr. Alexander, we're coming down to the end, but I want you to take the time to really outline the specifics of mental toughness, your readings, your teachings, your design of how to get that in your head. It's on you, sir.
So today I want to share with you all mental toughness secret number 3 of the 177 mental toughness secrets of the world class. Now, these are in no particular order. When you get the book, mental toughness secret number 3 might actually be in the book number 36. But I'm going to apply these mental toughness secrets for the times that we live in right now. And mental toughness secret number 3 is champions possess extreme confidence. Champions possess extreme confidence. See, if you know what to do, you're confident, right? So that is the word that distinguishes world-class performers from average people. So we want to break out of average, mediocrity, right? That's what separates or distinguishes world-class performers, world-class lifestyles from average, mediocre, working, poor class lifestyles. Confidence. So, KeJohnna, some people are raised by confidence building parents, teachers, and coaches, which is what we do. All 3 of those, as a consultant, sometimes, your clients want to share their most innermost fears and problems with you. And then you got to have the heart of a parent. a lot of times you are teaching them ways and means of achieving their goals. And as coaches, you are inspiring them to do what mentors taught them to do. Yet, these people that have those type of people in their lives are in the minority. Most people don't have those type of people. So most champions realized that they were responsible for developing their own self-confidence. I'm going to say that again. Most champions realize that they are responsible for developing their own self-confidence. Nobody but God woke you up this morning, KeJohnna, and you from that point had to decide what you were going to do every morning at 6 o'clock. So most of us realize that we're responsible for developing our own confidence at some point. And what we did was we programmed ourselves. You asked me how you deal with adversity. I got an adversity program. When I'm confronted with this is how I'm going to deal with it, so I can attack it. So the opposite of confidence is fear. And the fastest and the best way to defeat fear is to attack it head on through a series of ongoing techniques or systems or processes. You know, a lot of times we talk about the difference between cash and money. Money is an idea or a process that has a system attached to it. Cash is the result of money. So confident people generate more cash. So these programming strategies might include mental imagery and visualization techniques, meditation, sports, martial arts, learning a new language or musical instrument, or losing weight and going on an exercise regimen. See, I got to lose 40 pounds. So the beautiful of our Grindology101 podcast is now it gets me going. That's why you tune in here, because whatever you need to attack, you need some momentum, right? To begin your regimen and get the acceleration that you need so that you can get up into the air and defeat the law of gravity, and you can get up to 30,000 feet instead of 5,000 feet. Because if you fly 5,000 feet, you're going to eventually run into an 8,000 foot mountain and you're going to crash. So you need Grindology 101 to accelerate, to get that momentum, to get your goals and your dreams into the sky. So all these strategies contribute to boosting self-confidence. But the two fastest, most powerful ways to skyrocket self-confidence are, number one, changing the language you use when you talk to yourself and others. What are you saying when you talk to yourself? What are you saying when you look at yourself? Positive self-talk can literally change your life in 90 days if you stick to it. If you tune in to this Grindology 101 podcast over the next 90 days, not only are you going to have probably at least 45 of the mental toughness secrets of the 177, because I don't know if KeJohnna can afford to have me on every day to share this with you. But if he has me on half the time within the next 90 days, well, that's 45 days. So you're going to have 45 mental toughness secrets that most people don't have. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to reprogram your entire belief system just by changing the words that you hear and the words that you use when you talk to yourself. And number two is learning to be a proficient and entertaining public speaker. What? A public speaker? Yes. See, because if death and life are in the power of the tongue, if God says you shall decree a thing and it will be established for you, if the words that you have floating around in your head and eventually come out of your mouth lead you to how you feel, which leads you to the decisions that you make, which leads you to the habits you develop, which leads you to the actions that you take, or vice versa. Yeah, your habits. So your thoughts lead to your words that circle around in your head that eventually come out of your mouth. The words then lead to how you feel about what you're thinking about and what you say. And then what you say leads to your decisions. Your decisions lead to your actions. Your actions lead to your habits. Your habits develop your character, and your character leads you to your destiny. So if you learn how to be a more proficient speaker of what you hear in your head, and then what comes out of your mouth, and then to an audience of people who you have influence with that become teammates of yours, and because one is too small a number to achieve anything significant, you achieve significance, but it started with your words that began with your thoughts. Now you can stand in front of a group of people. You can get on your web browser and camera like KeJohnna and I teach you how to do with Fire That Boss with Success Express marketing campaigns. Then guess what? You can catapult your confidence into the stratosphere, because most world-class business people have a strong language that they speak in their mind and eventually comes out of their mouth and lead to their patterns. So I'm going to close with these patterns. I'm going to give you 8 steps real quick, and I'm not going to go into detail. We will do that on a different teaching, because each one of these steps is a different Grindology 101. Step number 1, write these down. In order to build confidence and destroy fear, you got to have a great attitude. Keyword great. Number 2, you got to be on top of time. On top of time. Because if you're not early, you're late. Think about this for a second, KeJohnna. There are 60 minutes in an hour, and only one of those minutes can you be on time. If you got to be somewhere at 12 o'clock, that's not 12:01, 12:02, etc. around the clock. It's exactly 12. So there's 59 other minutes. Either you on the late side of those 60 minutes, or you on the early side of those 60 minutes. So you got to be on top of time. Number 3, you got to be prepared physically and mentally. Number 4, you got to work a full day, right? Whatever that is for you to get until the job gets done. That's a full day. See, champions don't go like 9 to 5 people, because 9 to 5 people are limited by time, because the only time that they're earning is 8 hours a day. The other 16 hours, they're not generating any income. So champions work until the job is done, until the result is achieved, until they have the amount of income for that time period of the 24 hours that it takes to hit their goal, right? Number 5, you got to work the territory correctly. What does that mean? You got to be competent at what you're doing. You can't, activity is not necessarily accomplishment. That is called the law of priority. We'll talk about that another day. Number 6, you got to don't lose your attitude. So step 1 was have a great attitude. Step 6 is protect your attitude like a football. You know, if you pay attention to football or basketball, they got to protect that ball from it being stolen. They got to protect that ball from fumbling. You got to cross the goal line. So you got to do what you know how to do in the right way. Number 7 is you got to know why you're here and what you're doing. And number 8, you got to take control. So here's the action step for today as I let you get on out of here. Because as you can tell, I'll probably go through you like with information like a bad dose of water. Ask your 3 closest friends this question. On a scale of 1 to 7, KeJohnna, 7 being most confident, how much confidence do I project? And the answer to that question will give you an idea of how the world is responding to you. Well, that's all I have time for now. Like we always say at this time, I'll see at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. And like we always do at this time, swoosh, ha-ha, and I'm out.
That's how you break down some points right there. Eight strong points on how you take control, how you really put yourself in. And we're going to share that across the scroller right there. You can take some notes on that. Think about this. if you apply these 8 principles, you apply these 8 tenets, if you will, of mental toughness, what's the worst thing that can happen? People love to talk about the worst, man, if this is happening, or man, you could fail. So let's talk about the worst thing that can happen if you have great attitude. If you say, no, I'm going to be on top of my time. You say, no, I'm not going to just be there. I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to work a full day. I'm going to see just what I can get out the full day. I'm going to work my territory correctly. The law of priority is what he was talking about. I'm not going to lose my attitude based on what the world is saying about no, or it's crazy, or whatever the case is. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to know why I'm here. I know why I'm here. I know I understand what he just put in me. And I'm going to take control. What if he said I'm going to do all those? I'm just going to see if they said something that makes sense. And guess what this is about? It's about personal development. It's not about any concept, any business, anything. You can apply it to everything. Now, in this extended version of what we have today, I must share some content from some of the people that we respect highly. Me, Mr. Boss, I quit Alexander. I consider us, we down here in these trenches, right? So we talking some real talk from humble, hungry, assertive, aggressive, disciplined, motivated, empowered, encouraged men that want to make a difference and an impact in life. And I believe that we're all here to make an impact, and not just an impact, a significant impact that says, you know what? Through the course of my life, I kept a great attitude. I stayed on top of time. I continue to be prepared. I work full days. Old folks used to say, man, work a full day, get a full pay. See, I work my territory correctly. Nobody can alter my attitude. I know why I'm here, and I've taken control. So apply that today. And I think that allowed us mojo. Me and my guy, my main man, Mr. Neosha Morris, man, we believe in that motivation and inspiration. So I like to share others that also gives that power. And sometimes they give it in a way that you can receive it, that says, you know what? That just makes sense. So hopefully today we can make sense of some of what we talk about by letting other people share a little bit about how to overcome those circumstances, those situations, those adversities, those problems, all the stuff. What if I said, you know what? I'm going to take these 8 principles, and for the remainder of the year, might catapult you into the new year. I'm going to see what happens. Let's talk about it. We're going to get to the other side. There is another side. You stand by.
Mental toughness is a lot different than motivation. Because if I said right now, everybody in here, everybody, we're all going to run a half marathon in 5 days. All of us. And we all going, yeah, we're getting fired up. I said, yeah, we're going to start tomorrow at 5 a.m. And everyone's hugging each other. Yes, 5 a.m. We leave. 5 a.m. comes. It's dark. It's cold. Our bed is comfortable. It's hard to get motivated at 5 in the morning. And maybe you do it one day, but again and again, you'd go do it again and again. That is the X-ray vision. It's seeing through your broken bones to get to your goal. You have to train your brain by doing things that make you uncomfortable consistently to build this mindset that when things get hard, which they will be, we don't shy away, we don't quit, we attack. I'm seeing through all those walls. I'm getting to where I want to go.
You see, I've learned everybody on the face of this planet, they want something. Everybody that comes into this world, they want something. Everybody wants greatness. Everybody wants excellence. But the question is, what are you willing to go through in order to get it? What type of dedication? What type of commitment? What type of sacrifice?
I tell people all the time, if this is not your vision, if you don't see this as part of your real contribution, if it doesn't make you fully alive and express, and it's your real goals, bail. Quit sooner than later. But if you know it's right for you, then resilience is everything. The ability to be resilient toward your dreams, to keep marching on, win the struggle, the trial, the chaos, the frustration, the hurt, the anger, the disappointment, the shame, the regret, the embarrassment. When all that is there and you keep marching on, you know you'll be a successful person. It's the ability to be optimistic enough to know This too shall pass. This time shall change. I will find a way. I will honor my truth and keep pursuing my dreams. Thick and thin, storm or night, I will maintain my march.
Mental toughness says, not only do I climb that doggone mountain, I enjoy climbing the mountain. I get a kick out the mountain. I get a kick out the weights. I get a kick out of going up against the number one team. I get a kick out of fatigue. I get a kick out of the grind. I get a kick out of it.
I hope that you understand that every single person that you look at, every single person that you admire, every single person that you aspire to be like is literally just a regular human fucking being like you that has worked their motherfucking ass off.
Now, it's going to be hard. Understand that. It's going to be very hard. But you ain't got nothing else to do. Because let me tell you something about being not successful. Being not successful, that's really hard. So you might as well apply yourself to something that has a benefit.
And what some of you doing wrong, you play the game, but you not the game. You play football, but you not football. You got to go all in. You take advantage of this opportunity. You let everything else go. You eat different. You study different. You practice different.
That is something that is built and ingrained into a successful person, not because they were lucky with it, not because they grew up with it, because they developed it. By doing it once, they did it again, they did it again, they did it again. The more bold and courageous you are, the more bold and courageous you'll be in the future. The more confident you are today, the more confident you'll be in the future. The more you overcome yesterday's struggles today, the more you'll be able to overcome the bigger struggles tomorrow. Never forget these things. Keep marching, my friend.
We're going to get on up out of here this morning. I want you to apply those tenets. I want you to apply the best of yourself. Man, take the next step, man. Just put a little bit more. Do a little more. Prepare a little better. I don't know. Get up a little early. Stay up a little bit later. If you want something that you never had yet, I got goals. We have goals. Apply something that you haven't applied yet. Maybe you applied it. Maybe you need to apply it a little bit more. Maybe that mental toughness is that people have been telling you, no, you're crazy. Doesn't make sense. Man, they're doing all the things they want to do today. Guess what's going to happen? And if you apply the effort, apply the level of the work that you do to match the level of the faith that you have. See, it's not about today. It's like the grasshopper and the ant. I'm going to break this down real quick. That ant, that grasshopper's having fun. That grasshopper got it going on. Man, in the summertime, hopping all around, enjoying it, just doing the thing. Think about people you see. You see them, man, they're doing all the stuff, unfocused. But see, the winter cometh. It cometh. I think that's in there. The winter comes. And when it comes, see that ant all summer long, he said, no, I can't make it to the party. He said, no, I can't go to the club. He said, no, I can't go to the game. He said, no, I'm sorry. I'm focused on what I got to do in my life. And I'm sorry that tenacity offends you. I'm sorry. And you had a mental toughness to not care if they accept your apology or not, because you have a motivated spirit that's active from him to apply the level of the work you do to match the level of the faith you have. And at a time when the winter cometh, you will be prepared. Let's get on to the other side. I'm telling you, there's another side. Let's see it. There's people flying back and forth to Dubai just because they want to. We can too. There is another side. And that's how you get there.